Baby, I love you, but my heart trembles every time I speak your name. For love is soft, yet burdened by truths that burn like a silent flame. I hold you close in my dreams where no doubt can ever rise. But when I wake, the world stands heavy between our hearts and skies. Baby, I love you, but the nights have become deeper than I can endure. Every star whispers your memory, every silence feels unsure. I try to smile through the ache that settles quietly in my chest. But loving you has taught me that even angels sometimes need rest. Baby, I love you, but time has been unkind to the path we chose. We watered all our moments, yet only half the garden grows. I gave you all my daylight, you held my midnight in your hand. Still, somewhere between our pulses, we forgot how to stand. Baby, I love you, but the distance grew without a sound. One day I turned around and you were nowhere to be found. Your shadow danced beside me long after your footsteps left, and love became a memory carved from longing and regret. Baby, I love you, but some truths hide behind trembling lips, the kind that taste like oceans overflowing from sinking ships. I whisper your name softly, afraid the wind might steal it away, afraid that love might fade like sunsets that never choose to stay. Baby, I love you, but the world keeps pulling us into different storms, and every time we try to hold on, another wave shifts our forms. I still reach for you in darkness, hoping your warmth will return, but hope is a fragile candle that the winds of life often burn. Baby, I love you, but I see the sorrow you try so hard to hide. You smile like everything is perfect, but the pain stays by your side. I wish I could heal the wounds buried deep within your soul. But loving someone broken means breaking to make them whole. Baby, I love you, but my silence has become an uninvited guest, sitting between us at midnight when our hearts cannot rest. I try to speak, but the words crumble before they reach the air, because loving you has taught me that truth is sometimes unfair. Baby, I love you, but some nights I feel you drifting far from me, like a ship disappearing slowly into an unforgiving sea. I call your name in whispers, praying the tide brings you home, but some journeys must be taken by hearts that walk alone. Baby, I love you, but the moon has watched us fall apart. It has listened to the cracks forming quietly inside my heart. Every night carries echoes of the promises we once made, and every dawn reminds me of the ones that slowly faded. Baby, I love you, but I'm learning that love alone is not enough. Sometimes even the strongest hearts can't survive the rough. We held on tight, yet the wind kept pushing us astray, and somewhere between our fingers, the moments slipped away. Baby, I love you, but your eyes don't shine the way they used to. There's a tiredness in them now, a sadness that feels too true. I reach for your hand, but your soul feels miles away, like you're standing in the same room but already gone today. Baby, I love you, but forgiveness has become harder to find. Not because I don't care, but because we hurt each other blind. We tried to fix the pieces, but the fractures only grew, until even our shadows forgot how to stand as two. Baby, I love you, but I've begun to lose myself in the trying. The weight of unsaid feelings leaves both our hearts crying. I want to be strong. I want to hold on with all that I am. But even oceans break when they have no place left to land. Baby, I love you, but I've learned that letting go is also love. Sometimes hearts must drift apart for fate to rise above. And though I ache with every step that pulls me from your side, know that you were the greatest truth my soul could never hide. Baby, I love you, but my heart trembles at the thought of losing you. Even when I feel your distance, even when your silence cuts through, I try to stay strong, but loving you has made me soft in places, where life has only shown me storms wearing familiar faces. Baby, I love you, but the truth shakes inside me like a fragile leaf, caught between the winds of hope and the cold breath of grief. I never wanted our story to become a tale of almost and maybe, but love can be cruel when it grows tired, heavy, or shaky. Baby, I love you, but I see the walls you quietly built in your mind. Brick by brick, moment by moment, leaving me far behind. You stopped letting me in the day your dreams began to fade, and I could only watch helplessly as your smile slipped into shade. Baby, I love you, but the weight of unspoken words keeps us apart, like locked doors standing stubborn between two aching hearts. I'd tear them down if I could, break every barrier for you, but love must be offered freely, not begged for or pulled through. Baby, I love you, but I fear the future we once painted together, the one filled with warm nights and promises lasting forever. Now the colors look different, washed out by tears we didn't show. and the canvas feels colder than the love we used to know. Baby, I love you, but sometimes love asks for too much pain, asking a heart to bloom in the middle of endless rain. And though I'd walk through every storm just to see you smile again, I know love cannot survive where souls forget how to remain. Baby, I love you, but I'm learning to breathe without your voice, learning that heartbreak may sometimes be the gentler choice. Even as my soul whispers your name with every rising dawn, I know some loves continue in memory even when they're gone. Baby, I love you, but every heartbeat feels heavier than the last, as if the weight of our memories is chained to every moment that's passed. I try to hold the good close, try to forget the tears in between. But love remembers everything, even the things we wish unseen. Baby, I love you, but you've become a storm inside my soul, filling my nights with thunder that refuses to let me feel whole. I reach for calm, for peace, for the warmth you once gave me, but now I touch only echoes of the person you used to be. Baby, I love you, but your voice has changed its tone with time, once sweet as morning light, now distant like a fading chime. I miss the way you used to speak like I mattered more than air. Now your words drift past me as if I'm barely even there. Baby, I love you, but my heart can no longer lie to itself. It shatters quietly each night and hides the pieces on the shelf. I pretend I'm strong, pretend the cracks don't show at all. But even the bravest hearts can break when they've run out of walls. Baby, I love you, but I'm tired of waiting in a place you left long ago, tired of watering flowers in a garden where nothing seems to grow. I tried to keep our dreams alive, to keep the fire burning bright. But alone, even the strongest flame loses to the endless night. Baby, I love you, but every goodbye you never said still hurts. Every silence, every distance, every moment your love deserts. I stood by you in darkness, even when my world was falling apart. But now I stand alone, holding the ruins of my own heart. Baby, I love you, but love shouldn't feel like a losing fight. It shouldn't leave you breathless at the edge of every night. And though my soul is stitched with your name in every seam, I'm starting to wake from the nightmare of losing our dream. Baby, I love you, but I'm learning that walking away isn't sin. Sometimes it's the only way to let your broken heart begin. Even if my hands shake, even if my tears refuse to dry, I'll carry your memory gently. But I won't let it be my goodbye. Baby, I love you, but life has taught me that holding on too tightly can turn even the warmest love into something that aches nightly. I clung to every promise, every word you once made true, but promises fade easily when hearts no longer move in two. Baby, I love you, but there's a heaviness in the spaces you leave behind, a quiet emptiness spreading like shadows across my mind. I search for you in every echo, in every fading ray of light, hoping your heart might return even just for one more night. Baby, I love you, but I can't keep losing pieces of myself for your sake. I can't pour from a soul that's running dry, that's beginning to break. Love is meant to lift, not tear someone slowly apart inside. And somewhere between goodbye and silence, I forgot how to hide. Baby, I love you, but your eyes no longer speak the language of us. Instead, they carry stories of distance, of fading trust. I yearn for the days when your gaze made me feel alive. Now it barely reaches me, barely helps my heart survive. Baby, I love you, but I've grown tired of waiting for words you never say. For the affection that once felt endless, but now slips further away. I begged the universe for signs, for reasons to keep holding on. But even the stars whispered that some loves are meant to be gone. Baby, I love you, but I can feel myself drowning in thoughts of you. In every memory, every sorrow, every dream we couldn't pursue. I gave you all my gentleness, all the light I had to give. Yet loving you taught me how fragile a heart becomes when it tries to live. Baby, I love you, but I deserve a love that does not disappear. A love that does not leave my soul trembling with fear. Maybe in another world, another life, we could have stayed. But here in this lonely reality, our love has slowly decayed. Baby, I love you, but the story we wrote no longer fits our hearts. Its chapters break me with every page that painfully restarts. And though I walk away with 1,000 tears unsaid and unseen, know that I cherished you deeply, more than anyone has ever been. Baby, I love you, but the future we painted together no longer feels real. Its colors have faded into shades even time cannot heal. I still trace the outlines of the dreams we once shared, But the canvas remains empty now, untouched, unprepared. Baby, I love you, but my soul trembles when I think of what we became. Two strangers holding memories, whispering the same name. We lost ourselves somewhere between heartbreak and hope, caught in a loop of wanting each other but failing to cope. Baby, I love you, but every night I lie awake in the quiet dark, listening to the echoes of your voice imprinting its mark. Your laughter still wanders through the rooms of my chest, a haunting reminder of the love I once called my best. Baby, I love you, but the world has turned colder where you used to stand. And every step I take now feels like walking on sinking sand. I tried to rebuild what was broken, to bring back what was gone. But some chapters are meant to be closed before the next dawn. Baby, I love you, but the weight of what we lost keeps pulling me down, like an anchor made of memories trying to make me drown. I reach for the surface, for a breath that feels like mine. But love tied to heartbreak is a rope that doesn't unwind. Baby, I love you, but I need to find the version of me I misplaced, the one who smiled with freedom, the one time never erased. I gave so much of myself that I forgot how to be whole, forgot that loving someone else shouldn't cost me my soul. Baby, I love you, but I see now that you and I belong to different skies. Even if our hearts once danced under the same sunrise, we chased forever with the courage of innocent hearts. But forever sometimes breaks before it even starts. Baby, I love you, but I know we can't keep living in our past, holding on to the shadows of a love that couldn't last. And though every goodbye feels like a knife turning slow and deep, some endings are blessings that only broken hearts can keep. Baby, I love you, but letting go is the only kindness I have left to give. A silent mercy, a gentle release so both our souls may live. Even if I walk away with tears heavy as the sea, know that what I felt for you will forever remain a part of me. Baby, I love you, but the nights have grown too long without your touch, and longing becomes painful when the heart remembers too much. I still hold the warmth of your hands somewhere inside my dreams, but morning always arrives to break the fragile seams. Baby, I love you, but your shadow visits me more than you do. It lingers in corners, whispering the memories we once knew. I speak to it sometimes, hoping it carries my words to your heart, but shadows can't fix what life has pulled apart. Baby, I love you, but I've grown tired of waiting for your return, tired of keeping the flame alive when there's nothing left to burn. I gave you every sunrise, every slow and trembling breath, yet all I received in return was silence dressed as death. Baby, I love you, but the world feels different without your smile. Like a road without direction, stretching on for endless miles. I try to walk forward, but your memory pulls at my feet, dragging me back to moments where our hearts used to meet. Baby, I love you, but the truth is sharper than I ever feared. It cuts through every denial, through every tear I've ever cleared. We became a story written in a language only pain understands. Two souls drifting apart despite reaching with shaking hands. Baby, I love you, but I've learned that love cannot survive alone. It needs warmth, effort, care, things we've outgrown. You stopped fighting, stopped reaching, stopped holding me tight. And a one-sided war never ends in anything but night. Baby, I love you, but I refuse to keep swallowing my own heart. Refuse to keep pretending we're not already worlds apart. I deserve a love that stays even when storms begin to rise. Not a fading presence wearing beautiful lies. Baby, I love you, but I've cried enough rivers to fill a sea, trying to keep alive what was never meant to be. And though letting you go feels like losing a piece of my soul, I know some losses are needed to make a broken heart whole. Baby, I love you, but someday I'll look back at this pain and smile, knowing this heartbreak shaped me, even if only for a while. You taught me love, you taught me loss, you taught me how hearts bleed, and for that I thank you, though it's the last thing I ever wanted to need. Baby, I love you, but loving you has become a quiet ache, a soft burning wound that daylight never seems to break. I carry you like a whisper lodged deep in my chest, a memory that refuses to sleep, never choosing to rest. Baby, I love you, but I've learned how pain can wear a gentle face, how love can turn into longing that time cannot erase. Your absence echoes louder than your presence ever did, and every heartbeat reminds me of the truth I once hid. Baby, I love you, but I can no longer drown in what-ifs and maybes, no longer lose myself in illusions built on faded memories. I tried so hard to rewrite the endings before they began, but you cannot hold on to a future that slips through your hands. Baby, I love you, but my heart has grown weary from chasing your ghost, from reaching for someone who once loved me the most. The threads of our story hang loose, unraveling in the wind. And I've realized not every beginning is meant to find its end. Baby, I love you, but you stopped choosing me long before I noticed. Stopped fighting for the pieces of us that pain had slowly eroded. I carried the weight alone, hoping you'd feel the strain. But you walked lighthearted, untouched by my silent pain. Baby, I love you, but I refuse to stay chained to what hurts. Refuse to keep watering sorrow like a dying rose in the dirt. I deserve a love that blooms without begging for light. A love that stays tender even in the longest night. Baby, I love you, but I'm finally learning to breathe without you. Learning that my world doesn't end because yours withdrew. My heart is bruised, yes, but bruises fade with time. And even shattered voices eventually learn how to rhyme. Baby, I love you, but I must walk toward a dawn that isn't yours. Toward peace, toward healing, toward opening new doors. And though you'll forever remain a chapter my soul once adored, I cannot keep rereading a story that no longer aligns with its reward. Baby, I love you, but this love has run its destined course. Carved by tenderness at first, then shaped by an unseen force. And though my goodbye trembles like a leaf caught in the sky, know I release you gently with my final tear-soaked sigh. Baby, I love you, but sometimes love itself can be a prison, a cage built from longing, regret, and quiet decision. I held you in my soul longer than the world would allow, and now I stand trembling, learning how to live without. Baby, I love you, but the nights remember every tear, every whispered fear, every echo of our lost year. I try to forgive, I try to move, I try to smile, but loving you has taught me sorrow walks every mile. Baby, I love you, but even the strongest hearts can tire. Even flames of devotion can dim without fuel or fire. I carried us both, I carried dreams too heavy to hold, and even my hands of steel have grown weary and cold. Baby, I love you, but I see the truth in your distant gaze, the quiet unraveling hidden beneath polite displays. We drifted slowly, almost without noticing the divide, until love became a burden too heavy to guide. Baby, I love you, but the past is a garden I cannot reclaim, filled with flowers and thorns that still whisper your name. I water no more, I plant no seeds, I let the earth lie, because even love sometimes needs to learn how to die. Baby, I love you, but my heart is learning to beat alone, learning that beauty exists even when love has flown. I'll carry the memories, the warmth, the smiles we shared, but I'll no longer linger where hearts are unprepared. Baby, I love you, but I deserve a love that chooses to stay, not one that fades gently like twilight at the end of the day. And though it hurts to let go, to finally release, I know that sometimes the only way to heal is to find peace. Baby, I love you, but life has its own cruel designs, and love, though eternal in feeling, is not always kind in times. So I whisper my goodbye with a heart full of truth, thankful for the lessons, for the pain, for our youth. Baby, I love you, but I will step forward into the light, into mornings where sorrow is softened, where hearts may ignite. And though our chapter ends with tears that softly fall, I'll walk away stronger, carrying love, carrying all. Baby, I love you, but sometimes love is not enough to stay. Even when hearts burn bright, even when souls pray. We tried to hold forever, but forever slipped away, leaving only fragments of moments that cannot stay. Baby, I love you, but every memory is a gentle knife, cutting through the layers of our once vibrant life. I hold them tenderly like petals in trembling hands, knowing some things cannot be forced to withstand. Baby, I love you, but the silence between us is deafening, a hollow that echoes every word left unmentioning. I reached for your heart, but it drifted far from mine, and the love I held became a soft, fading sign. Baby, I love you, but the world moves forward without pause, even as we stumble, wounded by love's cruel laws. I must find my own steps, my own rhythm, my own song, even when your absence feels like it has been here too long. Baby, I love you, but I cannot live in the what could have been, not when hope lies in ruins and hearts cannot pretend. I'll treasure our moments, our laughter, our tears, but I cannot remain trapped by love wrapped in fears. Baby, I love you, but even love has its quiet endings, moments where hearts release instead of defending. I release you gently, though it hurts more than I can show, because holding on to someone who drifts is a sorrow we both know. Baby, I love you, but my soul will heal with time, learning to breathe without your hand in mine. And though you remain a whisper in the chambers of my heart, I'll find new beginnings where broken hearts can start. Baby, I love you, but I must learn to live for me again, to find joy in mornings untainted by the pain. And even if love comes back in forms I do not yet see, I'll carry the lessons, the depth, the truth of you and me. Baby, I love you, but love alone cannot fix what we've lost. No matter how much I cherish, no matter the cost. The bridges we burned cannot always be rebuilt, and hearts left in ashes carry both sorrow and guilt. Baby, I love you, but I feel the emptiness in your absence. A quiet ache that lingers beyond any fleeting presence. I try to fill it with memories, with hope, with dreams. But even memories fade, and hope is not what it seems. Baby, I love you, but our paths have grown too wide, even if our hearts remember the times we once tried. We reached for forever, but forever let us slip. And now I must navigate life without your fingertips. Baby, I love you, but I am learning the strength of letting go. The courage to release what refuses to grow. Even if the nights are colder, even if the pain is near, I will walk forward with love tempered by fear. Baby, I love you, but the echoes of us will always remain. Soft whispers in my heart mingled with joy and pain. You were a chapter I read with trembling hands. A story written deeply, beyond all demands. Baby, I love you, but I can't remain tethered to your ghost. I must survive, must rise, must live for the most. Even as the tears fall and the nights feel too long, I will carry our love in memory, in silence, in song. Baby, I love you, but tomorrow calls with its quiet light, promising new beginnings beyond the endless night. I'll cherish you forever, but I must move on, for life continues even after love is gone. Baby, I love you, but the world is wider than our pain. Even if our love is a storm I cannot contain, I'll walk forward gently with your memory in my chest, finding in the future the hope I once possessed.